Hey everyone, it's Tammy again. Yeah, I pulled my hair back because it was bugging me. Oh, and the one thing you should do before you start deciding to make videos for your book release is to cut your bangs really messed up. And yeah, they're just, I think a weed whacker would have done a better job. Anyway, I'm not here to talk to you about hair. I am here to talk to you about the Undead Mr. Tenpenny. And mainly, right now, I just want to talk to you about the inspiration for the book, or where the idea came from. And I'm not sure where it came from. This is the craziness up here, right? So the initial idea came when I was at my grandmother's funeral, and I wish I was kidding about that, and it sounds so disrespectful, but the funeral was taking a long time to start. And oh, before I get too far into this is going to be a blog post, so if you get sick of looking at this face, you can just read all this. Okay, so back to the story. So there I'm sitting at my grandma's funeral, or waiting for the funeral to start, and it's taken forever. I don't know what was taking so long. You talk about being late for your own funeral, right? No, she was there. She was. I had brought with me a notepad and pencil, and I had in mind, because I think at the time I was trying to write a short story every single month, so, any chance I could get, I was trying to write. And I had brought along one of my list of first lines with me, and I think that line was, "We need to talk." And so I'm in a funeral home, I'm kind of looking around, and I have this funeral home worker, female funeral home worker, and she comes up to her boss and she's like, "We need to talk. Dead bodies are coming back to life, and it's kind of a problem." And I don't know how far I got with that, maybe just a page before finally I had to start showing my respect for grandma. And so then what happened? I can't remember. It was so long ago. No. So the problem with that was the funeral home worker, who would eventually become Cassie, she just had so much attitude, and you just kind of wanted to strangle her. There's times in the books that you will want to strangle Cassie just because she's so stubborn and so pig-headed about things, but gee, I wonder where I got that from. So I was also, at the time, I was working on the final 2 books of my Osteria Chronicles series, and I really needed to get those done because I already put off writing the series multiple times, and I just really wanted to get those out of my head. So I set aside the funeral home worker idea, even though I really liked it. I set it aside and pushed through working on those. And while I was working on those, I was also kind of trying to, I don't know what you call it, adapt my writing style to be a little bit more looser, a little bit more fun, a little bit less heavy as the Osteria Chronicles and my other historical fantasy Domna. They're pretty heavy. There's not a lot of humor. And I'm kind of goofy, so I like humor. I like stories with humor. And so I was trying to play a little bit looser with that. And so I was doing these writing exercises every Friday morning, I think it was, I don't know. And that schedule didn't last very long. Every Friday morning I was working from this book, and it's called Take 10 for Writers. And each one is like an writing exercise that you're supposed to do within 10 minutes. And while I was writing one of those, boom, another idea comes up. Sorry, there's people walking by outside my window. I got a little distracted, like a parakeet. Woo! I got this idea for a novel set in World War II, and a woman is a bike messenger, and she delivers this object that could destroy the world, or she's supposed to deliver this object that could destroy the world. But she fails to deliver it, and she doesn't know what to do with it. So here I am, this is an idea! I love this idea! But I've got to finish these other 2 novels in the Osteria Chronicles series. So again, ideas are raging, and I need to just tamp them down. I was getting so annoyed, hate my brain. So what happened then? So then finally I kind of got the Osteria Chronicles, those final 2 books, to the point where they just needed to rest for a bit. And during that time, I started to play with the idea for the funeral home worker thing again. But then there was also the World War II thing, bike messenger thing again. But then, bam! I was like, I could combine these two. This doesn't have to be two separate novels. And so that the idea for the bike messenger did play into the Cassie Black story, as you'll see, and as my earlier viewers will know. I totally forgot what I was just gonna say. The fact that she gets a quick gig as a bike messenger before she becomes a funeral home worker plays into, and the fact that she can't deliver this object that she's supposed to deliver plays into what happens for the rest of the trilogy. It's basically the setup. So that was the inspiration behind Cassie Black, A Funeral, that I should have been probably paying more attention to, and a writing exercise, and a first line from the First Line Literary Journal, which I love their first lines, and most of my short stories actually have started from those first lines. So that's the inspiration for Cassie Black. And that was me clapping my hands. I don't know why I do that when I talk. So, if you want a sample of the story, there's going to be links, or if you're reading this in the blog post, there's a link right there. So, okay, that's it for this one. More videos to come, whether you like it or not.